everyone, and for today's report, we will talk about the general system theory. This quote will help frame the purpose of general system theory. The quote talks about the interrelatedness of nature and our universe, which is a key conceptual theory of open system theory. So let's move on of the background of a philosopher or a theorist of this theory. Ludwig van Beethoven was born on September 19, 1901 in Austria-Hungary. He died in June 12 in 1972 in Buffalo, New York. His position was a biologist, and he truly thought that science and philosophy was about synthesis in organization and organizing rational, natural, and open system perspective. By Scott and Davis, Bertalanffy wasn't concerned about the growing compartmentalization science. He believed in truly holistic view of the world and the interdisciplinary thought of science. System theory, it describes how to break whole things into parts and then to learn how the parts work together in systems. So the parts are connected to the body and therefore work as one despite of its differences, because the body cannot be functional without its part, since it is lacking or insufficient. Also, in general system theory, it is emphasized holism over reductionism and organism over mechanism. From the word itself, holism, in general, it takes all things into general or all. It not just focus into individual, foundational, or GST, the relationship between elements which altogether from the whole. So there are factors that are need to considered in interactions, which in the relationship of elements from the whole or the one. General system theory introduced the key concept such as open and closed system. So when we say open, it is give all opportunity and accept all, stressing the role and importance of context and environment. Equifinality, or the system can reach the same goal through different paths, and isomorphism, or structural, behavioral, and developmental features that are shared across systems. Also, in general system theory positions itself as transdisciplinary rather than interdisciplinary. When we say transdisciplinary, it goes beyond what is given, which includes all entities that connected to all disciplines and tends to extend rather than interdisciplinary words, which is just focused into one or two entities. Lastly, in general system theory was generally interpreted to be equilibrium oriented. So when we say equilibrium oriented, it proposes balance, it provides equal opportunity to all without bias, discriminations, or judgment. All are accepted and no one is rejected, and it is self-centered but other-centered. It is a transdisciplinary.
Characteristic of system theory: communication. Communication mechanism must be in place of organizational system to exchange relevant information with its environment. In addition, system theory views communication as a barrier which is crucial survival of growth of the organizational by doing the subsystem together, facilitate internal stability, control, and by providing the total system to the external environment. Communication promotes organizational growth and goal attainment. System, subsystem, and supersystem. Systems set interrelated parts that turn inputs into outputs through processing. Subsystem do the processing. Supersystem, broader group including the system universe. See for example our digestive system that is composed of many subsystems which are mouth, stomach, intestine, and that works together to do internal function to our body. That is now the supersystem. Goal-directedness. Systems are goal-oriented and engage in feedback in order to meet the goals of the organization. For example, the objective of given system a while ago, which is digestive. To system we sure the food is digested with some byproduct going to interrelated to our regulatory system, nurture the body to our some product. Holistic view. System theory focuses on the arrangement of a relation between the parts that connect them into whole. The mutual interaction of the parts make the whole bigger than the parts themselves. Holistic view. System theory focuses on the arrangement of the relationship between the part that connects them into a whole. The mutual interaction of the parts makes the whole bigger than the parts themselves. Boundaries separate system from its environment. 4 types of boundaries. Number 1 is physical boundary, prevent access security system. As example of this security system, one has known the correct password or have a matched fingerprint in order for them to access that system. Number 2 is linguistic boundaries, specialized language. From the word itself, lingual mean language. These are set specialized language that are used to specific system or what we call the jargon. Number 4 is systematic boundary, rules that regulate interaction. Lastly, psychological boundary. Fundamental proposition is that there are certain similarities in the way all systems work. If we understand this, we will feel at home in the universe.
The strength of general system theory. First, deal with complicity. It means that individuals needs a comfort level with ambiguity and willingness to learn. Next, take a holistic view. General system theory is a holistic approach that focuses on the behavior of individuals and society by studying relationships among individuals, groups, organizations, or communities, and environmental factors that influence those relationships. Also, all aspects of people's needs, psychological, physical, and social, should be taken into account and seen as a whole. Next, can easily manage change through interaction with the environment. It is the way we adopt the environment to fulfill our needs and include the satisfaction of survival needs. Next is the board of perspective, more points of intervention, and allows and encourage change and growth are also GST strength or general system theory strengths. General system theory positioned itself as transdisciplinary rather than interdisciplinary. When we say transdisciplinary, it goes beyond what is given, which includes all the entities that are connected to all the disciplines, and it tends to the extent rather than the interdisciplinary world, which is just focused on one or two entities.
One flaw of general system theory is that this approach to an individual issues is not always adequate to explain their present circumstances. So, in this case, a more traditional psychological approach might be used. For example, This includes people who have a severe mental illnesses that requires unique care or medication. So, another problem with general system theory is the difficulty of drawing actionable conclusion based on what is found. So, identifying problems is important, but finding solutions to these problems may create difficulty, especially at the cultural and policy level. Additionally, it may be difficult for social workers to truly understand their clients' social and cultural upbringing and environment, which can impede progress. The general system theory, it has a tendency of offering generalized ideas. The deficiency of specificity translates into a specific case scenario. So because it fails to give outright measure to take a specific situation. However, this has been deemed by others as a leeway of practitioners to apply a broad range of solutions and strategies, rather than sticking to one possibly ineffective strategy. So despite these weaknesses, general system theory is important to social work, and it helps practitioners reach a better understanding of those they work with. If the weaknesses are poorly or not managed at all, they can be unmonitored and can be eventually influence of the individual to where they are less ineffective in whatever the scope of work is in. View the organization and environment as concrete items, functional unity and harmony not always possible.
Hi everyone, I am Christine Jean H. Tubo and I am here to share with you the conclusion that we have about the general system theory. Conclusion. The system theory model is an effective and efficient way to analyze a problem within a department. With open system approach, the nurses, physicians, nurse manager, and the HBOT techs work as a team to develop a resolution to resolve HBOT physician scheduling issues. As the teams develop resolutions, they must ensure they encompass not only the mission of the MS Baptist healthcare system, but also the values of the organization. So, what's really its purposes? Its purpose was about developing broadly applicable concepts and principles as opposed to concept and principle is specific to one domain of knowledge. It distinguishes dynamic or active system from static or passive system. As what my fellow groupmates discussed a while ago, we can hear also the importance of the general system theory. It describes how to break whole things into parts and then to learn how the parts work together in system. Here's one of the simplest example. My one example about the general system theory was about cooking a adobo recipe. Of course, by cooking an adobo, we should able to complete all the seasonings or the ingredients so that we can cook it thoroughly, same as what the general system theory. Not only one person should work to the said job, but let work it together for the good of all and for the improvement of our organization. The general system theory is also known by different names, included the system theory, theory of open system, system model, and lastly the family system theory, and also stated there how the sciences are interrelated and affect our daily lives.